The Biden administration is defending former Education Secretary Betsy DeVos over a lawsuit that is alleging the Department of Education had illegally collected student loan payments from students who had been defrauded by for-profit colleges. So now, you heard that right. The Biden administration is defending Betsy DeVos. So now DeVos, who is no longer the defendant in the lawsuit since she resigned from office back on January 7th, is now fighting to block a subpoena that is seeking her deposition on February 25th in that case. And now the Biden administration has signed on to defend her from being deposed. So what happened? Well, let me give you kind of a timeline. All right. So now these for-profit colleges basically, literally scam students into borrowing thousands of dollars for what ended up being completely useless degrees. The degrees were not worth anything. They weren't worth the paper that they were printed on because the colleges didn't go through the proper accreditation. But these colleges, in order to get the sweet student loan money from the government, would lie about job placement and lie about statistics and success rates, things like that, lie about, how the students would be able to use their degrees once they had spent this money and went through those programs. And at the end of the day, these students ended up being stuck with degrees that they couldn't actually use. So now the Obama administration had shut these for-profit colleges down. And what they did was create a program to forgive the student loans of people who ended up being defrauded by these colleges. And so student loan forgiveness, you don't have to pay the loans if you're, went to one of these colleges that had basically cheated you. All right, so that happened under Obama. Well, later on, Trump gets into office, appoints Betsy DeVos. Betsy DeVos, of course, bought this seat, and she created a program that would, basically roll back what Obama had done. So now she slow walks, the efforts to allow these students to go and not pay on these defrauded loans, but also starts taking payments again from these students who had been defrauded, even for money that they don't owe. So now they had garnished these students' paychecks, despite a federal judge ordering her to stop collecting on these loans, and they even ended up charging her with contempt of court. So that kind of shows you how unbelievably evil this woman is. I mean, here she is, right? She's got court orders telling her to stop. Okay, the administration before was like, hey, we forgave these loans. Stop collecting on them. And she's like, yeah, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. Why? Because she loves for-profit colleges, her friends in the for-profit college industry, her family, and she also likes making poor people pay. She don't like poor people. Not in favor, right? So now this is while she literally owns like 10 yachts. It's not like she needed the money from her for-profit college friends. But anyway, she keeps doing that. So now that's disgusting. So why is the Biden administration protecting this? Why are they protecting her from facing a deposition? Even though they're saying that they're going to reverse what Betsy DeVos had done and bring it back to what it was like under Obama and allow these students to no longer pay on these debts they don't owe, to forgive their debt. Well, let me get to more details about that. So on Monday, the former Education Secretary's personal attorney, Jesse Panuccio, was joined by the Justice Department in a filing seeking to dismiss the motion set by, or asked by the people who are plaintiffs in this case that are trying to get her on the stand to do a deposition. These plaintiffs' demand for a former cabinet official's deposition, they say, is, quote, extraordinary, unnecessary, and unsupported. This was a joint statement by her personal lawyer and the Trump DOJ. The Biden DOJ. Not only this, but they said of the plaintiffs, these students that are suing, it is a transparent attempt at harassment, part of a PR campaign that has been central to plaintiffs' litigation strategy from the outset. Yeah. Now, Boynton, Brian Boynton, by the way, Brian Boynton is the one who signed on with Panuccio. So now he is the acting assistant attorney general in the Biden administration. And Boynton, you're not going to be surprised to find out, is a friend to for-profit colleges. Boynton was, up until recently, a partner at the D.C. law firm Wilmer Hale, where he represented multiple corporate clients, including a lot of for-profit colleges. Now, Boynton represented the for-profit colleges' main trade association, the APSCU, now called the CECU, which at the time included many of the most notorious predatory for-profit college operations, including Corinthian Colleges, EDMC, ITT Tech, Kaplan, Career Education Corporation, DeVos, Bridgepoint, ATI, and Fast Train College, all of which, in the past decade, have been under investigation or taken to court by law enforcement agencies for deceptive practices. In 2010, Boynton was lead counsel for APSCU in a Supreme Court brief supporting the argument of another predatory for-profit college, the University of Phoenix, to weaken protections for investors who wanted to file class action lawsuits against for-profit colleges for securities fraud. Interesting. Boynton and Panuccio have so far argued the plaintiffs looking for DeVos' deposition have not made a case the former secretary's testimony is essential. Why is it not? She was literally the head of the Department of Education during this time. She was setting the policies that were in favor of for-profit colleges. Why would you not have her deposed? Why would you not have her answer the questions? Why? Why protect her? Why protect her? And of course, as I mentioned, they called this attempt a harassment and PR campaign. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, stop. Leave her alone. Leave Betsy alone. No, this is ridiculous. We need to find out why she decided to ignore judges' orders, okay? And why she continued to steal money from people to pay for debts that they no longer owe or no longer should owe. And you know why? I mean, thanks to the Biden administration, we know why, right? They're all part of the club. And that's what it is. They're part of the club. And it's a big club, and you ain't in it. Now, remember, also, Biden hasn't exactly been a friend to student loan borrowers, okay? Biden originally wrote the bankruptcy bill that prevented you from discharging student loan debt through bankruptcy. So, I mean, come on. Biden's not going to do a whole lot for you when it comes to student loan debt. If you're a borrower and you've been defrauded, he's not really going to help you all that much. All right. And I know the plan is, of course, for the Biden administration to forgive $10,000 of student loan debt. Well, we're going to cancel that. Maybe. $10,000. Okay, but that's not going to do anything. Biden right now, today, with the stroke of a pen, could cancel all of it. Cancel all student debt. I mean, look, Chuck Schumer is more progressive than Biden on this, where he's saying, well, let's do 50,000. And Biden's like, maybe we'll do 10,000. Yeah, maybe. So you can tell that his priorities are not to help struggling students. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.